are experiencing itchy eyes and congestion, trust me, you are not alone. You should hear me sneezing all morning long. A new study actually says that doctors are seeing allergy symptoms get more severe each year.
But this is so many people right now. This is why this is so timely. The study found pollen seasons are starting about 20 days earlier and lasting about 8 days longer. So lucky you. Our 9 News health expert, Dr. Kohli, joins us this morning. Thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning. I'm an allergy sufferer as well.
Okay, so I have to ask, why does it seem like it's so much worse this year?
It really is worse this year, and there's a few different theories as to why that is. The main reason that they think is really the climate change. The weather has gotten warmer, it's gotten windier, it's gotten rainier, so all those little pollen molecules are sort of bursting open more frequently and kind of aerosolizing. But there's also some theories of something called botanical sexism, which means that we're planting more types of trees in cities that tend to give off more pollen as people are planting cities. So it's possible that over the course of many years, we're actually sort of setting ourselves up to have more seasonal allergies.
Are allergies just a nuisance, or can they actually be dangerous as well?
So that's what's interesting. New science tells us it's not just something that's bothersome, but if you're a chronic allergy sufferer, you can actually damage the DNA in your nose, in your eyes, in your throat, and you can create chronic changes over time, and that can lead to structural issues like polyps and such, but it can also lead to changes in the way that your nasal mucosa, the immune system of your nose, tends to function. And we know that asthma is essentially a very severe allergy in the lung. And we know that a lot of people have their asthma triggered by pollen as well.
What was that term you just used that you were talking about planting trees? What's that?
Botanical sexism.
Botanical sexism. Yeah. So when we're planting, does that mean we're planting more female
or
more
male trees?
More male trees.
Yes,
okay.
Because they give off less of those leaves and the types of things that can clutter up the streets. Now, some people refute this theory and say it scientifically doesn't have merit because we don't have enough of that ratio. And both types of trees actually do give off pollen. But that's a theory as to why maybe we're just seeing more allergies than we've ever seen before. And I know I'm certainly feeling it myself in my eyes.
So for somebody who's not like us, let's say Corey, who I don't really ever hear you sneeze that much. It's kind of...
I don't have allergies.
Yeah.
My husband is the opposite, though.
Wow.
He gets it real bad.
If you have never had allergy symptoms, though, can you experience this now?
Absolutely. And that's what's interesting about allergies. It's not a static thing. So if you think about an allergic response, it's the interaction of your genetics. So Corey here is blessed, unlike the rest of us. So family history. So if you have family history of allergies or asthma or eczema, you're more likely to have it. That combined with your immune system, how it's been trained. So if you're exposed to childhood germs, you're actually less likely to have allergies as you become an adult. So your genetics, your immune system, and then your environment. So moving from one city to another, in fact, even moving to a different house that can have different mold patterns and such can really be a difference at triggering your allergies.
Wow.
I feel like we have all the medications in our medicine cabinet at home, but how can people find
That's
relief?
for your husband, right?
All for him, 100%. We've tried everything. So how can people get relief from allergies?
You know, a lot of people reach for the medicines right away, but I would say try some of the lifestyle things first, because the medicines can be drying, can have side effects, and you know, they don't work unless you're taking them every single day. So one thing you can do is when you're outside, try to cover up the portals of entry. So cover up your eyes with sunglasses so that you don't get pollen in your eyes. Yeah. And a lot of people, when they're mowing the lawn or doing gardening, where you might aerosolize some of those pollens, they actually wear a mask. That can help, you know, some of the entry of the pollen. Some people will rinse out their hair. The American Allergy Association says rinse out your hair or change your clothes when you come in, and have HEPA filters in your house as well. All of that can keep the air inside nice and pure. Make sure that you're changing your sheets regularly as well, because if you have some pollen in your hair, you go to sleep and then you inoculate that kind of onto your face, you can have more allergies. Nasal rinses work really well. If you're going to use a neti pot, though, make sure it's really clean, but irrigating some of those chemicals out of your nose can help. And then if that doesn't work, then we reach for the medications, nasal steroids, antihistamine eye drops, and of course the systemic antihistamines as well.
And unfortunately, we are out of time, but really quickly, at what point should somebody consider maybe an allergy shot?
If it's really severe. Okay. If you're unable to sort of function, you're needing a lot of antihistamine, it's really getting in the way. But keep in mind, allergy shots work in one environment. Remember, it's an interplay of the environment, the immune system, and the genetics. So if you go to another city, like I did, I got allergy shots in Boston, I moved here, I got to start all over.
Right.
So
makes sense.
I just feel so bad for allergy sufferers.
We appreciate your sympathy.
It can go all the way till the summer, so we got a little more to hang in there.
Okay, maybe if you can do the honey, try to get some honey in there too. It helps with allergies. All right, Dr. Kohli, thank you. By the way, you can find all of Dr. Kohli's appearances at 9news.com/drkohli.